This message is, I want to try today to be able to cover the third level of truth, the fourth level of truth, maybe the fifth level of truth if I'm lucky. So the third level of truth is when you tell the truth. Listen closely now. No, I will still need somebody. Yeah. When you tell yourself the truth, when you tell the truth about yourself to another. I will still need two people. Maybe you can come, yeah. This is a serious one right here. You want me to repeat number three? Number third level of the truth? When you tell the truth about yourself. You remember the first two levels is when you tell the truth to yourself about yourself. That was number one. Number second is when you tell the truth to yourself about or regarding another person. But this third level is totally different. It's another gear right here. This third level is when you tell the truth about yourself to another. What does that mean? That means we all know the truth. We all know that most of us, sorry for being very direct. I'm going to be very direct, and it's going to be painful, maybe offensive a little bit, but it's going to be the truth, okay? Most of us are just hypocrites, okay? Most of us are just out there to just deceive other people. Most people, 90%, maybe 99% of people, we are out there to just deceive other people, about ourselves especially. For example, cosmetics is about deceiving. Not only it can be about deceiving, but it can also not be about deceiving. But in most of the cases, it's about deceiving. But what cosmetics is supposed to be about is supposed to be about getting yourself in the best shape. It's about adding value to yourself, which is okay. But in most cases, most people use cosmetics not to add value. It's not about adding value to themselves. Sometimes cosmetics is about, no, it's about deception. Okay? That is just the truth. We've got to face it. Now, dressing like this, you know, it's not just about covering our nakedness or looking nice or adding value to ourselves. A lot of times, dressing is being used actually as a way to deceive the rest of the world so that nobody actually knows what you are hiding inside. Okay? It's a cover-up. You look at me right now, you think I'm fit? But if I remove this thing and I go to the mirror, you will see some meat here like this. Huh? I'm not so fit as I look, okay? That is the truth right there, okay? But some other people have some more greater truth about themselves than me. And almost all of us have some truth about themselves like that. I mean, can you imagine that? People have been married. I mean, I know people who married and divorced the second day. You've heard about it before?
Because of the makeup.
Yeah, because he said, I don't get it. Yeah, what I got is not what I bargained for. What I bargained for is a little bit different. Or for example, I know women, and I know this is a bit sensitive, right? But you know you cannot give birth, all right? You know, abortions have been done and things have happened. And you didn't tell the guy that, you know, you might not be able to have children. You just said, okay, I'm believing God. So under the office is that I'm believing God. The truth is that, you know the truth really. It's one thing if you didn't know that you could give birth. You couldn't give birth. But when you know that you couldn't give birth, why don't you tell him? It's just like the man knowing that he's impotent. And it's not telling you that he's impotent. And then you are going to add, it's not right. You see, so what is the truth? Truth is not just about who to marry or how to marry or what's. telling the truth to another about yourself is about our whole lifestyle. For example, if I say, you know, when people see me, people normally identify me and look at me as Pastor Sunday, the pastor of the biggest church in Europe, or the pastor of this mega church in Ukraine. I know that I am bigger than that. So that's not a problem. Because it's not just the truth. I've done that, but I'm even bigger than that. That's okay. But when I come and say I am the pastor of of this mega church, but I know that inside, yeah, pidget or midget, you know, I am a small person inside. You know, there are people who have big something, but inside their content is very small. Their content. So that for me, I'm a dwarf inside. You know, and there are a lot of people like that. For example, I know one pastor who was under another pastor in Nigeria, one of the top 3 pastors in Nigeria, right? And this man was one of the bishops of that ministry. And then he left that ministry. So when he now came to, you know, the other bishop was saying, I'm going to curse you, and all that. So, because in Nigeria, they believe in those curses. So this man ran to me because he saw that I had an authority that I should to come under my covering so that the curse will not work against him. So he came to me, then he attended one of my trainings that I did about leadership. You know what? This guy told me and said, I must make a confession to you. I was under this pastor in Nigeria that everybody thought is a big giant, big leader. But when I listen to you, characteristic of a true leader, and what is the definition of an insecure leader, I knew that my leader was an insecure leader. He was not a leader. But when leaders are using control to hold people together, when you are using fear to hold people together, when they are using threat and curse to hold people together, they are not really big. So this man came to me and said, it is just by listening to you now that I discovered that my pastor was not even a big man at all. He's a very small man, even though the whole of the country thinks he's a big man. Because any man that is using fear, any man that is using manipulation, any man that is using deception, threat, to hold people together in this church, is not big at all. He's a small man. That is the truth. And the reason for that is because they have not, that kind of leader has not spoken the truth to himself about himself. And that kind of leader is not speaking the truth to the people about himself. Now, for example, a few people noticed, tell me the truth, have you noticed that if you have been following DSA and all the reports and the reportage from here, from my house here, that you see that Pastor Sunday has no secrets? I don't have secrets. I don't have any secret. My life is like transparent. But you know many pastors cannot do that. They will not even allow you to enter their house. They will not even allow you to talk place of doing video reports on their house, whatever they do every day. Are you kidding me? And you know the reason why? The reason why is because people cannot tell the truth about themselves. They cannot stand, not even tell. They cannot even stand the truth about themselves to be revealed to the world. They cannot even stand. So it means if they cannot reveal the truth about themselves and their lifestyle to the world, it means that they are not living in the truth. It means that they are living in darkness. It means that they are living in deception. It means that most of the things they are doing, they are hiding it. They don't want you to know. They only want you to follow them, and they only want you to know what they want you to know. They only tell you what they want you to know, but they are not open enough to say, yeah, I am. I live in the truth. Because the truth is that if you really live in the truth, if you are really walking before the truth and in the truth, you are not intimidated. You don't care. You are not intimidated. And you know, in some churches and in some ministries, they have security, or what do you call it? They call it protocol. Protocol means you cannot come near the man of God. You cannot, you have to pass through some stages. You have to be, monitored, or you have to be, whatever they call it. You have to be allowed, or you have to be, whatever that is, They put some all kind of order and some rituals in places. And why that? The reason is because they are not walking in the truth. They are afraid for the truth to be. They are not living in the truth. The truth is dangerous to them. The truth is a threat to them. The truth is foreign to them. That's what the Bible says in John chapter 3. And we read that scripture before. John chapter 3. That is, the very popular, the most popular passage in the Bible. John chapter 3:16, for God so loved the world. But if you follow that scripture, John 3:16, where it says, for God so loved the world, you will see that verse 19 says, and this is the condemnation, that the light has come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light. You see, people who love darkness more than light, they are afraid of the truth. They are threatened by the truth. So they have to put all kind of protocol. They have to put all the kind of rules. They have to put all kind of screening. They have to put all kind of things in place, because people are used. The whole world around us is used to living in falsehood. The whole world around us is living in falsehood. That is, I am somebody else, but I'm painting another picture. And in Nigeria now, there is another word I've just heard. I never heard of this word before I left Nigeria, because I heard of the word, but as an industrial word. I never knew it is for men of God now. The word that I now know, I now heard about Nigerian ministers and pastors, is packaging. There is something they call packaging now. Packaging. Even not just pastors and ministers, but even Christians are doing packaging. What is packaging? Packaging is what you want them to do. The way you want. So it's about deception that you are putting forward. It's about the front, the facade, the lies that you are putting forward. So these people don't love the truth. And if you don't love the truth to the extent that you are able to be transparent, you are not walking in the truth. You are walking in deception. You are walking in lies. You don't deserve to be believed. You don't deserve to be followed. The third level of truth, ladies, let's say this third level of truth means that, first of all, you are living your life in a truthful manner. As much as possible, you are not passing the wrong message to the world about yourself. That's number one. So your whole lifestyle is not communicating the wrong things. You are not living in a deception, a lie. You are not saying, for example, I am this and this and this, when you yourself know that you are not this and this. Number two, this ability to speak the truth about yourself to others is the ability, that's the second stage, that you are portraying the right image, the correct image that is in line with the truth. So your own image that you are portraying to the rest of the world, to people who know you or people who don't know you, is actually what the reality is. But you are not intentionally portraying and putting people, what do you call that?
Deception.
Yeah, or just intentionally deceiving people. Intentionally lie.
Putting the ruse on.
No, intentionally deceiving people, intentionally lying, intentionally, painting the wrong picture of what you are not, what you don't represent. That is the second level of speaking the truth to yourself. Speaking the truth about yourself to others. Now, that is generally to others, right? But also, that doesn't mean that you are going to everybody in the street and say, do you know I did abortion yesterday? Do you know I did abortion yesterday? Do you know I did abortion yesterday? Do you know that's not what we're talking about. And we are not talking about going to everybody and say, you met them just 2 days ago. Do you know I had lost my virginity? So I slept with the other brother. That's not what we're talking about. That's foolishness. That's not the kind of truth. You don't need, that's why I first of all talk about its two levels of truth. Talking the truth about yourself to others, to the public. That is, you are not painting the wrong picture. You are who you say you are. That is the general one for general people. But then there are some truth about your life that some people need to be qualified to know about or to get. I don't know if you're getting that. You know, like for this information I just gave now, that, you know, you had abortion, or, you know, you had sex with somebody, or slept with somebody, or you have a boyfriend or something, or you know, how does the person deserve that trust from you? How does the person deserve that information from you? How does that person qualify to be trusted with that information about yourself? There must be an explanation. There must be a way, or whatever qualifies that person for him to be able to hear all the deep things about your life. I don't know if you get it there. Okay, then there is another level. Okay, maybe there are some people, or there are some instances where you want to use that story that I did abortion, or I had abortion, to edify other people. Then you are using that as a ministry. That's a basis for that. So that way you are using it as a basis to enlighten people, to deliver people, to save people, and to bless people. That is the most honorable, the highest height of truth. But we are still going to get to that later on. But right now I'm talking the truth about yourself, personal, not as a ministry now. When with its ministry, it is something else. But right now I'm talking not as if it's a ministry. I'm just talking about personal stuff, okay? So, for example, people tell you, oh, why don't you tell anybody about it? Why don't you tell anybody about it? The people you could tell the deep things of your heart, or the sacred things of your personal life to, must be people who have proven to you over the years, or who have done one thing or the other to prove to you and to convince you that they deserve your trust. I don't know if you are following me. They must prove to you that they deserve your trust. They must prove to you that they are men of truth themselves. So otherwise, what I'm saying, to tell the truth to others about yourself, doesn't mean just going about and just opening your mouth anyhow. The most important thing you needed to do are the two. The first one was the first one, which is the learning to tell the truth to yourself about yourself. That is the highest. That's the fundamental. That is the basic one. Then the second one is the one that delivers you from judgment, from being judgmental, and from, judging and pointing accusing fingers. When you learn from whatsoever people do, either good or bad, to improve yourself and to make yourself a better person. Now, the third level of truth is when you are not just painting an hypocritical picture about yourself. When you are not, Jesus was attacking all the Pharisees. And this is because of this. Jesus was always attacking the Pharisees because of this third level of truth. Because the Pharisees were painting the wrong picture. They were always washing the outward of the plate, of the cup, of the vessel, but inside was horrible. But they would always paint the picture like this. And Jesus was always attacking them. And this is what Jesus calls hypocrisy. Now, let's say you are a man, pastor. You are a man, and you approach a young girl that you say that I want to be your boyfriend or something like that. And what normally ladies do is that because of some flowers, or because of some letters, or because of some good words, or because of somebody, did some acts of kindness to them, one or two things, the lady normally will say, okay, I love you too. They begin to follow. What is she doing? She is giving up her truth or herself to somebody who had not proven to her his own truth and trustworthiness. So then, let's say the mother comes, or the father comes and says, who is this man? How long have you known him? Oh, I've only known him for a few months, or for 6 months, but he's a good person. He loves me, he takes me to the car, in his car, or he gives me some things, he helps me. But your father, or the mother said, look, listen to me. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. You say, oh no, you don't want me to be happy. You don't want me, you are not interested in my married life. You are not interested in my joy. So I am going. I go with him. Well, that is not wise, because these people who are your parents, they have been there for you. That is the truth right there. The fact that they have been there for you, they have been defending your interests, they have been there for you, telling you the truth or helping you through all your life, that is the truth. And this other person, what he's doing, it could still be an art. It could still be a performance. But you have not had 20 years of your life like with your parents, when you know when they are true, when they are not true, when they are real, when they are not real, where their weaknesses or their strengths is. But here, you don't even know the weakness of this guy yet. You don't even know who he is for real yet. So your truth in this case belongs not to the boyfriend, but it belongs to your parents. The person to listen to will be not just parents, it could be your friend, it could be your pastor, it could be your mentor, people who have proved to you that they have your best interest at heart. Another question is this. Do you remember when young girls used to be in secondary school or something, and most of the information that young girls have about life and about sex and about their private life and about things, they normally get it from their friends, their girlfriends, or from their teenage friends or their colleagues. But because they are trusting their colleagues and their friends more than they trust their mom or their sister or their parents or their relatives at home. So they take their truth and expose it before somebody who is just like them, who has not proven to them over the years like the parents have, their truth, reality. So truth in this sense is the reality of love to you. The person who really loves you are those parents who have been there for you, preparing everything for you, making everything for you, giving you everything. But these your friends, they just make you comfortable. That doesn't still mean that that is the reality still. When you are homeless and you need to be fed and you need to be taken care of and given a home, they will not be there for you because they don't have it. And they don't even have your best interest, in heart to do that. So this third level of truth that we are talking about is about telling the truth about yourself. So there are two aspects to it. Telling the truth about yourself to another, in general, not painting the wrong impression, painting the right impression that is in line with the truth about yourself. Everywhere, both privately and publicly. Then the second aspect of it is, so what about the deep truth or the depth secret or reality of my life? Do I just go about telling everybody, or I still need to find who is qualified for my trust? So that is where this other one comes in. But the whole idea is that truth is the ability, the third level of truth is the ability to talk to other people the truth about yourself. But before you begin to tell other people or talk to other people the truth about yourself, make sure that you first of all tell yourself that truth about yourself. And make sure you tell yourself the truth about that other person. So if the truth about that other person is that that person wants to use you, tell yourself the truth about that person. That person wants to use me. If the truth about that other person is that that person is not so good, tell yourself the truth first. Yes, I know it's not so good, but I'm not condemning him. Even me, I'm working on myself. If the truth about that person is that that person is dangerous, run for your life. If the truth, tell yourself that it's dangerous. Don't just say, yes, he's a son of God also. He's given the image of God. Even though he has knife now, he wants to hurt me. But, God said we should love everybody. Tell yourself the truth about that man. Tell yourself the truth about that person. If he's thinking evil, it doesn't mean to condemn him. You don't need to condemn him, but you need to still admit that truth. That's why I use the example of putting the person to the ground and still loving. So my attitude is still loving, but I still admit the truth, which is that this guy is dangerous to me, which means this guy wants to hurt me. This person wants to harm me. That is the truth. So we must learn to tell the truth about ourselves to ourselves, then tell the truth about others to ourselves, not condemning, and also tell the truth about ourselves to others. Okay, so let me repeat the third one, which we are doing, which is our main one today. The third level of truth today is you tell the truth about yourself to other people. For example, when you exaggerate about your achievements, your greatness, it's good to, the Bible says that we should receive ourselves as Christ receives us. So if God says you are this, admit it and agree with God. That is the truth. But when you say, okay, you are actually more than that, when you are not who you say you are living deception. You are not walking the truth. But on the other hand, when you say you are less and you are not what God says you are also not walking the truth. So you could exaggerate who you are or underrate who you are in God. In life, though, it is preferable to underrate who you are than to overrate who you are or exaggerate who you are. But in reality to yourself, you must know the truth. You must know the balance. But when you underrate who you are, though, even to other people, just know that people could try to take advantage of that. So the best place to be is not to underrate who you are. It's not to downplay yourself. It's not to put yourself lower than what you know and who God has made you to be. But to say you are who you are. But not to overflate or inflate what you are not. Or who you are into what you are not. So talking to people, other people about yourself, or it's not just in talking. Okay, let's look at Facebook. We're in the social media world right now, right? In social media world, a lot of people are just living in deception, let me tell you that. And I want to challenge all of you. In your social media world, are you sure you are not living in a life of deception and deceiving the whole world? Are you sure your social media image is not creating a picture that is actually a lie? Are you sure you are not overrating and exaggerating your significance and the reality of who you have become? And are you sure you are not downplaying it as well and becoming like nobody? Maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't deserve to have this. Maybe they don't deserve to the whole world doesn't deserve to have that. Yeah, you are right then, but you must know who you are at least. I mean, this social media world, a lot of people are living in the slums, but they present themselves to the world as if, because what made me to begin to check this out is because some people will be writing to me. Every day somebody is writing to me and asking for money. Oh, give me the money. Give me money for this. Give me money for this. Then I check the profile of the person who is looking for me. He is, who. I said, so you have, you are this great man of God, prophet, evangelist, apostle. I didn't know his packaging. Most of those packaging is lie. So it is not. So they are living in ghetto and they are now asking for money when it gets to. So why are you coming and doing? You are even look. In fact, do you know there are some people who are using telephone that I cannot afford to use right now? I don't even have telephones. There are some people who are using iPad that I don't even have the iPad. I don't even have it. I never even bought one iPad for myself. I never bought one iPad since it started. Apart from the other one that I was using to do my program. Otherwise, no. But people, it's just like my cousin, one of my cousins. He's my cousin, though. So he's the son of my brother, my senior brother. So this guy, he was always gaga in the school. So one day he wrote me. I didn't know that the parents. What happened was that the parents wrote me 2 weeks before and said that they needed to pay some money for his school fees. So I said okay. So when he now wrote me 2 weeks after, I was thinking he was going to ask for the same, that we are supposed to start, because this was in May and the school is supposed to start in September. And so I told the father, okay, let's get back to me in 2 months' time. And I thought he was getting back to me about his school fees. The father and the mother don't have money for his school fees. And this guy was asking me, I said, father, uncle. I said, what happened? He said, I thought wanted to discuss something with you. I thought you wanted to discuss something serious. I said, I thought it was the school fees. So I said, I've spoken to your dad. I've promised to send him some money. He said, no. He said, for what? I said, for your school fees. I said, thank you, sir. That's not what I'm saying. I said, what's your own need? He said, my own is that, I had that the iPhone 5 or something. That was 4 years ago. So iPhone 5 had just come out. The one we're having here was 4. And I was thinking he could get me that iPhone 5 and then iPad something. And I said, do you even ask me if my son has it? Or if my wife has it? Or even if me, myself, your uncle has it? Uncle doesn't even Uncle doesn't have this thing you are asking for. But so why do you need it? You are still in university. You cannot even pay for your school fees. You are asking for iPhone. Is it iPhone they call it? iPhone 5 or so. I said, even me, I don't have it. So, what am I saying? People, this is that stage when you create the wrong impression about yourself to the world. When when you are passing the wrong message out. And that is all over the place right now. A life of lies, a life of deception. That means you don't love the truth. You don't live in the truth. And if you are living like that, it means that you have not spoken the truth to yourself. If you are the one that is living like that, it means that you have not fallen in love with the truth. It means you have not gone through the first level of truth. It means that you have not passed the first stage of the exam on the truth. It means that the truth has not examined you. The truth has not discovered and unveiled your heart. It means that the truth has not, unpackaged you and has not broken you. The truth, you have not been transparent before God. You have not been transparent before yourself. You are not living in the truth. You are not a lover of the truth. You are not upright. That is why you are with comfort, living a life of deception. And it's so difficult right now to find people who live like this. And unfortunately, Christian doesn't mean truth anymore. But before God, it remains the truth. Christianity means truth. And a Christian means somebody who lives by the truth. Who is subdued by the truth. To whom truth is the highest authority. A Christian is somebody to whom truth is the only friend or is the best friend. Hypocrisy, playing games, lying, telling lies. It means you are not a Christian yet. That is why we say we don't even know who is going to heaven. I know who is going to heaven now because it depends on their attitude to this truth. He who walks in the truth, who lives in the truth, is the one that is accepted. In whose heart, it talks about in Psalm 23 or so, or is it 15? It talks about in fact, let me even read it. Who can do it? Psalm 15. O Lord, who shall sojourn in your tent? Who shall dwell on your high hill? Who walks blamelessly and does what is right and speak truth in his heart. You see, it's that at the level of the heart. Only those who will be on the high on the high mountain with God. Only those people will be in the heavenly Jerusalem with God. Only those people will be in the high place where God is. Only those people will be coming from above where God is abode. So who shall dwell in your tabernacle? Who shall dwell in your house? Who shall dwell with God in personal relationship? There is no personal relationship for anybody who has not made truth his priority, who has not made himself a slave and servant of the truth. Someone who has not been overwhelmed and overtaken and overcome by the truth. He doesn't have anything to do with God. And I'm not talking of this kind of truth that, only you know that is the truth. I'm talking the kind of truth that everyone knows is the truth. I'm not talking about the truth that only, you have told the story to people and people believe you. We are talking about the truth that God can testify to in your heart. So it is only he that is absolutely in his heart blameless. In our actions, we will not be blameless. All of us will be faulty. All of us will have mistakes. All of us will have, imperfections in our actions, in life, externally. But in the heart, in your attitude of the heart, you will love the truth above all things. You will be blameless in the sense of how much you embrace the truth and love it. You will be blameless by how much you speak the truth to your own self in your own heart. He who walks blameless and does what is right and speaks truth in his own heart. It's because the level of the truth that we are talking about is not the level of truth you speak to somebody or not. It's the truth that starts from within your heart. The truth that convinces you when nobody is there. The truth that makes you to look at the mirror and look at yourself and just break down and just fall in love with yourself, with God and with the truth and repent and be broken before God and let God, the truth of God purify you.